Hey guys, and thank you for watching The Farm and Pastor's Wife. You want to see me try something new for the very first time that I've never had? Well, stay tuned. We're going to make something I have never tasted, let alone made. So we're going to make it together. It's cabbage casserole. Okay guys, tonight we are going to make something I have never even heard of. I've never tasted anywhere else, and let alone ever making it. So tonight is the first for me. I got this recipe from a really sweet lady who watches my channel, and she sent me a message. She said, Leslie, I know you and your husband and your son love cabbage. I've got this recipe. I want you to try it. It's really delicious. So y'all, I'll try anything. And that's one reason why I'm going to get the post office box, is so you can send me recipes. You can send me maybe ingredients that I don't have access to here in the Southeast. And you can just send me a card, because I love to get cards. But anyway, so this is going to be a first. We're going to try it all together, so you'll get to see my reaction. The first thing we're going to start out with is the medium head of cabbage. I've already taken this cabbage and peeled off all the layers that were dirty on the outside layers. So I'm going to find me a knife and we're going to cut this up. I have in my pot here behind me, I have some water and I'm going to turn it on. This casserole sounds, y'all are going to shake a little bit, I'm sorry. My tripod has broken again. I think this is my third tripod. And I'm just cutting this, no particular rhyme or reason, just bite-sized pieces. Well, a little bit larger than bite-sized pieces. Cut the core out in a wedge. So I can't tilt you down to see what I'm doing. But I'm basically cutting the cabbage up in, a little bit larger than bite-sized pieces. I am so excited to try this. I can't wait to tell you how it is. I have never heard of a cabbage casserole. And I thought I had heard of every casserole out there. But I have not heard of this one until now. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start breaking it up and putting it in the water. I may have to add some more water. What we're going to do is we're going to bring it to a boil, and I'm going to boil it for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to season it like I normally would. Now, I don't normally boil my cabbage. I guess it's almost pan frying it, but also kind of a little bit of steaming it. I don't know how to explain how I cook my cabbage. I guess it's closest to frying, but I do put just a little bit of water to help soften it. Does that make sense? To kind of cook it down a little bit, and then when you do the frying part, it's getting those just good, juicy, brown bits of goodness on there. My family, all but Caroline. Now, Caroline does not care for cabbage. Jamie, her husband, loves cabbage. I love cabbage. Bryant loves cabbage. Isaac loves cabbage. Caroline's the only weirdo. But we love her anyway. We'll keep her around. I may have to add just a little bit of water. Y'all, today, have you ever had those days that you, like you've done a lot of stuff, but really don't feel like you've accomplished anything? Today's one of those. I just didn't want to really be at home. I love my home. I love being at my home. But I just wanted to be with Bryant today, y'all. I just wanted to be with Bryant. We have been going hard at it for about, oh goodness, we've gone hard at it. We don't know how to rest. We don't know how to sit still. I do more so than him. And I would rest a lot more if he would let me. But he keeps me hopping. But it's hay season on the farm. And I don't mean allergy. I mean actual hay. And, alright, I'm going to have to add water definitely because that's a bigger cabbage than I thought it was. But let me go ahead and salt and pepper it. Put a little salt in here. That way when the water pours over it, it'll disperse it well. I have some, we went by an Amish store the other day, and they have this chicken base that has a little bit of parsley in it. I'm going to put just a little bit in that for flavor. You do not have to do this by any means. When I cook my cabbage, I do use, well, sometimes I use, if I have some good side meat, I'll use side meat. If I don't, I'll use, like a bouillon cube and some oil and definitely butter. But tonight we're cooking it different. So, but I'm going to season it up a little, probably, you know, a little bit about the same. I didn't pepper it though. Let me put a little pepper in there. I love pepper on my cabbage. Anyway, I just wanted to be back to my story about not accomplishing anything. Well, this morning we went and did our chicken house stuff that we do at the chicken house. And we came home and I showered and the boys continued to work. And then Bryant was loading some calves. Bryant was loading some calves to go to the stockyard sale. And so I went with him down there to load the calves. And then I wanted to go with him to the sale. So all of us went. Caroline, Judah, Bryant, Isaac, me, we all went. Came home. I was at home for a little bit. I didn't feel real well. And they pulled up with hay. They started moving hay. For 4 weeks, they've been dealing with hay. And I feel like I haven't seen them because they're working from sun up to sundown. Plus all the church activities. Plus all the studying he has to do for church. Plus ministering and visiting, which I usually go with him to do that. Just a lot of stuff. And so I just wanted to be with them today. And so I would try to come to the house and do some things, and I was just kind of lonely, so I went and rode with them some more, and then he wanted me to go back to the stockyard and see if they'd sold our calves. So I went back, and so now I'm back home. So I've done things. I've helped him be productive, and I've been with him. I tagged along while they were productive, and But I haven't really been that productive. Sometimes you just need time with your man. Or family time. And I was just needing it today. I was needy today. And it's okay. I'm thankful I want to be with my husband. I hear some women don't want to be with their husbands, and that's sad to me. But anyway, so what I'm doing now, I know y'all see me working, but you can't see what I'm doing because I don't have a tripod. I'm chopping up an onion. We're going to saute a good, a medium-sized onion, I guess. I think onion sizes are relative because it depends on what I normally use this kind, so this is a large one of this kind, but if you held it up to one of those that they do a blooming onion with, it would be a miniature one. So I would say it's probably a good cup or half a cup at least of onion. I would say definitely a good cup of onion. And I'm going to get out a pan. Let's see. I'm actually going to get, instead of a frying pan, I'm going to get like a small sauce pot. I'm going to put half a stick of butter in here. And I'm going to start sauteing the onions. I'm going to fry pork chops tonight. And I've got, over here behind me, I've got some lima beans going. And I just put a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and a bouillon cube in there. And so I'm going to fry up some pork chops. And then I'm going to have, I harvested out of the garden some baby carrots and baby beets. I kind of just got, I don't think they were going to get much bigger anyway because, well, the type of carrot I planted were small baby carrots anyway. And I planted my beets so close together and I didn't go back in and thin them. So, they weren't going to be allowed to get much bigger because they were so close to each other. So I'm just going to put some olive oil, salt and pepper on them and roast them in the oven. That's not something we traditionally have. We don't have it very often. In fact, we rarely have something like that. But I was just experimenting with the garden this year, and so I might as well figure out something to do with it. So let me get this sauteing up and I'll bring you back. Okay guys, so I've got the cabbage. The cabbage is boiling. It's boiling good. And my onions are sauteing. Here are the lima beans cooking. They don't go in the casserole, but that's going to be another side dish we're having. Okay, so the onions have gotten good and translucent. And I'm going to add the next ingredients to that now. Okay guys, so what we're going to add to the onions is very interesting. We're going to add a can of cream of mushroom and 8 ounces of Velveeta cheese. And I'm just, I like videos. I like doing the videos. That way you can see the techniques. I don't know if this is how my friend does it. I don't know if she mixes it up separately. I'm not sure. But we're just going to mix it together. And we're only going to use, this is a 16-ounce box of Velveeta, so we're just going to use half of it, if I can get it open. I've turned the onions down on low. I want to keep a little bit of heat to it so it melts the cheese good and it stirs in the soup stirs in easy. And my little jitterbugs walking around at my feet. I'm cutting this Velveeta up into little cubes. It should help it melt a little easier. Jitterbug, no. And you know, once I get my soup in here and this melted, I may hold the prerogative to add a little more cheese. My daughter is looking at me. She's the one I was telling you about that's the weirdo.
Why? Because I don't like cabbage?
How did you know? That's exactly why. Alright, so I'm going to add a can of cream of mushroom over into the onions and the Velveeta cheese. Hello, Jitterbug. Oh. Too big. Too big. Excuse me, Judah. Parks, come out.
Parks is spending the night with Jitterbug tonight.
Alright. I'm just going to stir this up.
Watch out, buddy.
Look. Here, Parks. Look up here. Say hello.
Hey.
There's Parks. He's a friend of ours from church. He's going to spend the night with Judah.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, I'll bring you back just as soon as this melts and show you what it looks like. Okay, guys. My friend said to just boil the cabbage for 10 minutes. So we have 19 seconds left. And I'm assuming it's going to be a little al dente. It's not going to be quite as soft as you would eat stewed cabbage. But it's going to continue cooking in the casserole dish. Now over here, this is what the soup and cheese and onion mixture looks like. So can y'all tell this is going to be delicious already? Alright, let me go pour the cabbage up. I'm going to put it in my colander and just strain it. Or drain it actually. And then I'll bring you back. Y'all, this video is kind of difficult to make with no tripod. So I'm having to do the best I can without a tripod. So I'm going to bring the... I got my cake pan out because that was the quickest thing I could get to. It just needs to be a 9x13. It doesn't matter. Pyrex would have been... but it was just too difficult for me to get to.
Okay if he eats that.
What is it?
A lima bean.
Yeah.
A frozen lima bean.
Yeah. He's eating lima beans. Of course it's okay. Alright. So, I'm just going to line my my cake pan, my 9x13 dish, with cabbage. What? Are you talking to me?
I think I have played that before.
Judah's talking to me. Alright.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the cabbage needs to be still firm. Still firm because we're going to bake it. My oven is preheated to 350. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this wonderful mixture, soup, cheese, and onions, and we're going to spread this on top of the cabbage. And if you'll give me a second, I'll show you what it looks like. And all I can say is if I'm doing this wrong, Barbara, forgive me. Alright. We're just going to smear this cheese mixture, the goodness on top of this cabbage. Oh, this looks really good. And I did spray this pan. I don't know that I had to, but it's not going to hurt to do it. It can only help, so.
Have you seen that toilet one? Yeah. Where it sprays you in the face? If you don't spit
all right.
fast, when it's loose, it sprays in the face. You know? I don't, but I've seen it.
Let me scrape this off and I'll show you what this looks like so far. And we've got one more ingredient before we stick it in the oven.
Oh, that's when you have the person has to hit it and then the person
All right.
face of the thing.
Let me show you what it looks like. Y'all, this video is kind of difficult to make with no tripod. So I'm having to do the best I can without a tripod. So I'm going to bring the, I got my cake pan out because that was the quickest thing I could get to. It just needs to be a 9x13. It doesn't matter. Pyrex would have been, but it was just too difficult for me to get to.
Okay if he eats up
What is it?
a lima bean.
Yeah.
A frozen lima bean.
Yeah. He's eating lima beans. Of course it's okay. Alright. So, I'm just going to line my my cake pan, my 9x13 dish, with cabbage. What? Are you talking to me?
I think I have played that before.
Judah's talking to me. Alright.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the cabbage needs to be still firm. Still firm because we're going to bake it. My oven is preheated to 350. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this wonderful mixture, soup, cheese, and onions, and we're going to spread this on top of the cabbage. And if you'll give me a second, I'll show you what it looks like. And all I can say is if I'm doing this wrong, Barbara, forgive me. Alright. We're just going to smear this cheese mixture, the goodness on top of this cabbage. Oh, this looks really good. And I did spray this pan. I don't know that I had to, but it's not going to hurt to do it. It can only help, so.
Have you seen that toilet one? Yeah. Where it sprays you in the face? If you don't spit
Alright.
fast, when it's loose, it sprays in the face. You know? I don't, but I've seen it.
Let me scrape this off and I'll show you what this looks like so far. And we've got one more ingredient before we stick it in the oven.
Oh, that's when you have the person has to hit it and then the person
Alright.
face of the thing.
Let me show you what it looks like. This is it so far. Alright, so let me put the last ingredient on and let me show you what that is. Okay, our last and final ingredient is breadcrumbs. Now, I don't really have an amount on this, so I'm just going to sprinkle on top. And I'm using the plain breadcrumbs. And I'm just going to give it a sprinkle. I can't wait for us to have a day that the guys aren't working in half. Oh, Judabug's in here. Tearing up stuff.
Sorry.
All right.
Judah Jameson?
Judah Jameson. He got both names. Did y'all hear that?
Stop it.
Here's the casserole getting ready to go in the oven at 350. I think I leave it in for 30 minutes. I'm going to double check that, and if I'm wrong, I'll tell you when I come back. But for right now, I'm going in with 30 minutes in mind. Okay, guys, we are fixing to try the cabbage casserole, which is this right here. I just thought I'd show you the rest of our dinner. We have a fried pork chop, fried cornbread, or hoe cakes, or whatever you want to call them. I just call it fried cornbread. Lima beans, and then this right here, I'm really proud of this. This is baby carrots and baby beets and onions from our garden. Everything in this side dish came from our garden. So we're about to try the cabbage casserole. It looks delicious. It looks divine. And my husband's already been in that corner, but I'm gonna let you see him taste it again. I already know what he thinks about it. So hang tight.
Everybody, thank you for giving us a great day today. Thank you for keeping us safe with all of our hard work. And just bless all of our efforts tomorrow and all that we do in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, so we're gonna get him trying the cabbage casserole.
All right, here it is. Very cheesy, looks like. Very hot too. See the steam?
Yep. Hot.
Very good.
Very good.
Really good.
So that's a cabbage side dish we need to add to the list, huh?
It is. Definitely is.
Okay, y'all, I'm fixing to try the casserole. I'm looking in the wrong... I've got my phone in the different hand, and I'm looking in the wrong spot. He's pointing to where I need to be looking. I still am looking in the wrong spot. That's so good. Good and cheesy. Oh my goodness, that's really good. It's not your traditional cabbage side dish, but it is definitely a keeper for us on how we're going to do cabbage. We'll alternate. We'll have our sauteed cabbage some, and then we'll occasionally do this, and then we'll do slaw, and we'll just alternate. This is really, really good. Very good. Barbara, thank you so much for the recipe. This recipe comes from Barbara. She lives in Rockmart, Georgia. And the coolest thing is how she got this recipe. It came in her mama's bank statement. We get recipes all different places. And I think it's cool that she shared it with me. And I'm so thankful. Y'all have a great night. We had fried cornbread. So remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything, even cornbread. Y'all have a good night. Bye.